A lot of people get this wrong. People think, hey, socializing means taking your puppy to a dog park, letting them interacting with other dogs. Although this is very important, I want to talk to you about what socialization really means and how you could take advantage of each and every scenario your dog is going to go through. So keep watching. Hey, real quick, I just want to tell you our pit bull training masterclass is launching this Friday. Essentially what it is all the training techniques that we use on our dogs to be able to have a perfect companion that has well-established obedience and great foundation with their obedience. So Friday we are launching this, and I will be dropping the video, so you got to be subscribed to the channel. And the first 50 people that enroll in the masterclass will be getting a free flirt pole and a free canine tug toy from me. So if you don't want to miss that opportunity to win big, then I will see you on Friday when I drop the video, but you have to be subscribed. So socializing your dog is very important, and this is the obvious. This is one of the main goals that we need to strive for. But like I said, people are, taking their dogs to the dog park when their dog is not mentally there to be able to handle all of the stress that comes with dealing with other dogs in the dog park. Also, just giving their puppies not enough time to be able to cope with everything that's going on around them, especially inside the house. So one thing that owners are doing, like I said, they're taking their dog to the dog park, letting them interact. And even though I do highly go against dog parks, they still take them there and count that as socialization. And one thing that I really want to point out is that socializing your dog does not mean just interacting with your dogs. Now, other dogs is fine, and it's something that's very important that we want to do and we want to strive for. But one thing that we got to know is that everything in your dog's life is part of socializing. So whether that's a vacuum, whether that's just, hanging out with kids, maybe you had a new baby in the house, maybe there's a new guy or a new roommate that moved in, maybe it's your brother, your sister. All of these little scenarios are socialization opportunities. Now, the reason why we want to do this and expose our dog to new settings, new noises, new people is because there's certain triggers in each and every dog that could cause anxiety or stress. For example, dogs sometimes are afraid of people in uniforms. Another example is a baby. Sometimes when a baby is crying, they start getting anxious and start panting because they never heard that baby start crying constantly. That's another example. Another example is a vacuum or a loud pop in the kitchen, such as a pan. It will startle them. Or the vacuum, you see a lot of dogs starting to want to chase that vacuum and start bite the vacuum. This is another opportunity to start desensitizing what your dog is triggering to. It doesn't necessarily mean your dog is triggered by every single thing around them, but you got to understand everything is new, especially when you have a puppy and you start taking them out to new settings, new areas. They're like, hey, this is new to me and I don't know how to deal with this. Now, one of the best things to overcome a dog that is stressed and has anxiety in a new situation is just by going over your training fundamentals, such as basic obedience. This is one of the key things that you have to do, because in a new setting, if they don't know who to look up to, they don't know what to do with themselves, they're going to get themselves in trouble. Maybe destructive behavior, maybe chasing after other dogs, and just don't know how to act around other things. One thing they got to look for is to you. They got to look up to you. Make sure they're checking back in with you, because you're going to be the leader. You're going to be the guidance for them when they're in that new setting. Now, a couple ways that I recommend that you should socialize your dog. First off is just get them familiar with everything around the home. Obviously, you don't want to give a new puppy so much freedom where they're getting into everything, chewing up the cords, chewing up the shoes. You want to eventually give them some freedom. Then when you take it outside, then you could say, hey, we're going to the front yard this time. We're going to start doing some training in the front yard. This is where a lot of distractions start to come in. Then also you could take it to the backyard. But once you pass this level, then you want to start going to other places like a park. I'm at a new park right now. My dog has never been here. He wants to sniff everything. He does have a little bit dominant behavior. He likes to piss on everything. I don't allow that just because I want to curb that behavior. But it's a new setting, so I see that he's starting to do that kind of stuff. And I want to just, start going over our fundamentals of basic obedience. But new parks is a perfect example. Another thing that you could do is go into like pet-friendly stores. But this level of socialization, I only recommend when your dog is very socialized and is desensitized to new animals. It's not reactive on the leash, because you don't want to have a liability, of course. But home stores like a Home Depot, Office Depot, that are very dog friendly, you can start taking them into there. Now, it doesn't have to be these kind of areas. It could simply just be going to a new park, going to the mountains. It could be going to your brother's house. It could be going to your mom's house. Just make sure your dog is being desensitized. And one thing we could do by that is learning how to leash walk, learning how to do our basic obedience commands: sit down, stay, leave it, go to your place, things in that nature. So we all know that socializing is very important. What I do recommend is just get started on day one. It doesn't have to be taking your dog to the dog park. It could just be simply training around your house. Start with that. Turn on some vacuums, turn on the blender, turn on anything that makes noises. Then just practice training. I advise you to just get them familiar with it. So I just want to reiterate that socialization doesn't mean just getting your dog to play with other dogs. Every opportunity in our dog's life is an opportunity to socialize them. So I hope this helps you out with your new puppy, and I will see you on the next video. I am out.